Hello and welcome. I'm not sure if the stream is live. Let me refresh. Not sure if the stream is. There we go. This is episode 81 of the Bull Market Watch, presented by intro-to-cryptos.ca. My name is Doug and I'll be your guide. The purpose of today's video is to review all of the cryptocurrencies that are trading on Poloniex and grade them against our trading plan to see where they stand. Are they an alert, nearly a buy? Are they something that we should be holding because they look like they're going up? Is it something that went up that we should be getting rid of now and taking our profits or getting out of? Is it a market that is almost going down to new lows? Is it a market that we should be selling and getting out of or going short of? Or is it a market that's neutral and sort of floating in between our buy signals and our get out signals? You can see that here on almost a daily basis, we go through and we check out all the markets on Poloniex, and then we add up the number of those that are looking like they are a near fail, how many are neutral, how many are fails and that are looking like we should be getting rid of it. And then the green and yellow are our buys and alerts. So those are the bullish signals. Let's start off with Ardor, and you can see our spreadsheet down below here. Ardor would be neutral according to our trading plan. Now, if you want to get a copy of that trading plan, and I recommend that you do, head over to intro-to-cryptos.ca and get a free copy of the trading plan and the spreadsheet that we're working with in this series. I give them away for free. So be sure you go and get it. Don't wait 6 months and then go and check it out and say to you will say to yourself, shit, if only I'd known about this earlier, what a difference it would have made. So be sure to go and get that free training right now. There's no need for you to regret that you missed out on this because the training is free. Go and grab it. So if you're wondering what kind of profits you might have left on the table, this is going to help you. Second of all, I have to bring up the disclaimer. You can pause the video and read it. Hello, AOL Chandra. Good to have you here. I don't see a chat box on this page. Over on the side. I don't know if that's going to work. I'll have to pay attention on the YouTube page itself and say hello. I appreciate the regulars who are stopping by and watching this. I appreciate people who are new to the channel. Click on subscribe, click on the thumbs up button if you find this information useful. If you find yourself coming back, if you are enjoying this and you would recommend it for others, hit that thumbs up button. Let's go back to the Bull Market Watch and start scanning through these. Another thing I'm going to introduce in this series is the moving average, and this is the 200 period moving average, just a simple moving average that I'm putting onto the charts, and I'm just looking at all the charts with this 200 period moving average. It is a really common thing to do it in a 1 day view or a 3 day view over the long term, and you'll find your golden cross and your death cross. And we are nowhere near a golden cross right now. We've experienced a death cross and certainly had this big move down in Bitcoin and all the cryptos because of that cross of the death cross. So watching these longer term moving averages is really key to see when we have our 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breaking above this long-term moving average is even more significant than our 60-20 exponential moving average. The 60-20 exponential moving average is actually getting weaker as a trading signal as this market keeps going sideways because it gets more and more noisy. As you can see, if I go back to this 12-hour view, this used to be a clean signal, but now we've got jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out. It's no longer a clean signal, and we have to start looking out for a longer-term crossover. And so I'm bringing in this 200 period moving average, and we'll take a look at it as we go through things. The other thing I want to do is to take a look at the, what's this called again? The Ichimoku clouds, to see where the prices are inside the clouds. No, the moving average is set at 200. I was confused about that too because it says 9 up here. Let me go and double check it because the inputs should be 200. Okay, but it says 9. Anyway, it's a 200 period moving average, and I'm really liking it because it's helping to filter out a lot of the signals that are good, but they've turned into just pump and dumps. People, you know, the price will go up and it goes out into a notice of what are some of those Telegram groups that have, one was recommended today that has 250,000 people in this. And so when there's something posted, 6,200 people have read it within minutes. And so when there's a notification about a trade signal that goes out, there are thousands and thousands of crypto traders with their phone in hand who are right there at the trading desk and able to put on these trades when things are taking off. There's a lot of FOMO going on, and we saw a ton of that at the beginning of February. After these lows, there was a ton of little wee 1, 2, 3 bottom formations with a great pump, and then prices fell right back down. So some really good, slick market manipulation going on just at the right time. And we're going to start paying more attention to that now that we're paying more attention to these groups. How's it going, Kieran? Good to have you here. All right, on with the data. Basic attention token. I would love to have a greater audience like I see other people having, but I really do this for myself, and if it benefits other people, then that's great. I guess we'll see how it goes over time as I'm more regular and daily at it. Prices are fading off on this. I've got to give it a fail. I can't give it even a near fail. I would say, like, this is not a coin to be holding right now. I would reconsider it after it changes formations, but that's too bad. BNT, also, I have to put it as a fail again because it's not it's just not a formation to be holding at all. Unless you're a bag holder and you're comfortable just sitting on 50 bucks of it, 20 bucks of it, and you have your sell orders all layered out and you just ignore it. Okay, that, you know, it depends on your overall financial strategies. Here we are with BCHABC. I'm going to have to give this a near fail. It's looking weaker. Look, the trend is down. It's at the top of the trend line heading down. I won't get into too much detail, but this is also looking like a fail. So these are pretty good details earlier where we were identifying. And this is neutral or a near fail, BCN. I'll put it as neutral. I don't think it's going to be failing and going down to new lows. Bitcoin, this is where I have to switch over to Bitfinex, change to my favorites, bring up Bitcoin. And to me, it's actually looking like it's sprung and ready to go. But I'm biased. I'm always looking for that. So if you only have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Just as over here, all of this was looking like a nail to me because all I had was a hammer. And I didn't have Bitfinex, US dollar. What time frame was that? 12 hour and then pulled back. 12-hour bars, pulled back. So we're right into these levels here. Even here, it does look like a bottom formation, and it is a potential time for, out of this huge consolidation and these build up here, this very moment, it's looking very good. Those are just the moments we look for, and so does a whole bunch of other people. And when they're all wrong and they're all dumping, then prices really move. And then we had, so this is where I'm feeling that this is manipulated, and that's manipulated. And of course, then it gets FOMO way higher by crowds of people, not just specific manipulators. Now we're way down, and prices should have been telling us more clearly because I'm looking for the bottom formations. I'm not looking for the sell signal. I'm not looking for the consolidation that breaks. Now I'm looking for the consolidation that breaks. And there's an action plan. Should it break below these levels, you're still kind of stuck waiting for that 1, 2, 3 bottom. So anyway, we are below the cloud. The cloud is red. Those are bearish things. If it's below the cloud, that's bearish. If the cloud is red, that's additionally bearish. If the fast moving average here, the blue, is below the red, the slow moving average, that's bearish. So we have all sorts of bearish things all lining up here, except that I'm trading a contrarian strategy that is the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. When we have a 1, 2, 3, it's either the very best moment to be getting into it or the very worst moment to be getting into it and the best moment to be going short. So it's been a difficult waves all the way along here. It's the same conundrum, the same quandary all the way along, but we can see that the angle of this was higher, less high, and this is almost a flat angle. So nothing to do but go short if it goes lower and go long if it goes higher. It's really come down to such a consolidation. And so what do I put it as? I have to put it as a near fail. It's not an alert for sure for this trading system. So the long-term moving average never did cross over. Well, it did. It crossed over as the long-term moving average was on a downtrend. The long-term moving average is on a downtrend, and we had a little crossover. Now the long-term moving average is on a downtrend. So even if prices come up and touch and cross over that, it's on a downtrend. We're not ready for a bottom formation to turn around yet. This needs a lot of time. This whole thing, even if we go sideways, it's going to be taking its time to be turning around. And so in the meantime, we could have prices come up and do something like this, and it would work perfectly into changing the long-term 200 period moving average around. So this is what I'm watching for here. I'm anticipating some of this to go up. I just think that there will be this wave, and I'm still waiting for it. So a break down below here will be opposite to what I'm thinking. We'll see how it goes. And if you have any comments, where's the YouTube? Tomorrow is the day Bitcoin will repeat tomorrow is the day Bitcoin will repeat last year's 2/6 day. Last year's February 6th day. Whoops. Last year's February 6th day. Whoops. Tomorrow will be the day that we get this. It could be. This is what could be coming for us right now. Is that we're coming off these downtrend. It's consolidating and looking terrible. It looks absolutely like this could be happening next. Is that we'll have this big capitulation low. And so being into a fiat or a stable coin is pretty good. You could be there, and it's a safe place to be until prices choose a direction, and then you could be going short. We'll see. That's an interesting observation, and we are certainly either or. Right, we're either going to do that massive capitulation down, or we're going to build up and consolidate for the longer term turnaround. So I'm expecting this will be after the pump. And I'm just got this conspiracy theory of the markets are manipulated and that they are intentionally wringing people out of this, getting their Bitcoin, physically getting their Bitcoin by trading and taking it from them so that they have ownership. The larger financial players have ownership of it. We have a new resource that I'm going to be adding to the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet also has tools for crypto traders in it. You can see these here along the bottom, and you can scroll through. There's a whole bunch of list of crypto trader tools inside the spreadsheet itself in one of the pages, and I'll add this new tool up in the top panel, which is showing us the ratios between the longs and the shorts. So if we had a 60-40 ratio or a higher ratio right now as prices were at these bottom formations, as we can see here in US dollar and Korean money, if we had a wicked lopsided to the shorts, then I would expect that prices are going to go up here. But because it's so balanced, it's not giving clear pressure, except that it should be going lower and shorts should be building up higher at the wrong time when the prices are going to reverse. So this could mean that prices are going to be pulling back. Where is my Bitcoin price? And we'll have to see how that plays out. And it's so easy to get sidetracked on the spreadsheet filling out. I'm happy to chat about this stuff, especially Bitcoin, really key right now. Still fits all of my requirements for the 1 to 3 bottom formation. So I have to be watching for that. This is what I play for. That's what I watch for. And I do that in the cryptocurrencies as well. If you haven't got the simple trading plan yet, grab it. Go to introdocryptos.ca, sign up, and get into those courses there. There's some great free training that goes along there. Back to Poloniex, back to BitShares is our next one. And BitShares was looking pretty good, but it's not right now. It's not a near fail, but it's not an alert or anything. It's not a fail. So Burst, how are we doing? We're looking at the 12-hour bars. Actually, I like what Burst is doing. It should be coming back and give us a number 3 point. So then we have a one, a number 2, and a number 3, and build up from there. We're still, so far, neutral. We don't have anything that's breaking to new lows and, you know, looking like this is still a sell signal. Civic Coin, it's close to new lows. Oh yeah, actually it made me almost stop speaking because it is so close to new lows. I have to put it as a fail. So it's just like something too bad. It's going down. And look at this. We're getting something coming out of this. I'll put it up to neutral instead of a near fail just because it's bouncing twice off this area. Not much strength in the markets. There's a little hint of it there. This has actually got a little tiny green candle at the end for decreed. And it's been holding flat here for 6 weeks or more. Those are really key things. I'm going to put this up to neutral. We've got so many markets that have been building. It's going to be spectacular when it does go. This one is not ready yet. It's still a near fail. And I like that market. Doge, I got great expectations for Doge, but it's a fail today. EOS, and I thought that as Bitcoin was going down, Doge would go up. EOS was looking neutral the other day because it's in between this range, and it's going to look neutral for a while. Let's draw parallel lines on it. And it's really clear and easy to see. One strategy would be to sell it at the top, buy it at the bottom. Another strategy is to wait for the breakout and then buy it on the retest. We'll see how this plays out over time. This is a good one, but it'll be neutral for quite a while. It just doesn't fit into the trading plan. So there's lots of other ways to trade it, but not this plan. Okay, this one, I'm going to put it as a fail. Near fail. Because it's not going past the number 1 point. It's coming down to test the number 3 point, like Bitcoin's a near fail. But it's not a fail coming down to new lows yet. Let's go to Ethereum. I got to put it as a near fail. Even though, of course, I'm wanting it to go up. Let's take a look at the 5-minute bars of, here's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Stellar. So Stellar's been really taking some hits and some waves down, while Bitcoin has not been. So this has been really getting hammered. And you can see Litecoin and Ethereum taking some hits, but they're recovering from it. Stellar's just been getting hammered. So here's been another hit, and I was expecting that this was a break and a sell signal. We can see this trend line here that the prices broke this 1, 2, 3 top formation. And so now we have, I'm going to expand this. Litecoin is actually coming up and sitting underneath resistance now. So there's a sell signal in a couple different ways here. The break of this trend line is a sell signal. There's a one stage of a sell signal. So if you were to be putting on a position in a short position, this would be a moment to put on part of it. And then you wait as you're proven correct. As it breaks down below these levels, this is be a time to be adding on to that short position and then watching for some of the Fibonacci levels to get out on and take your profits. So that's one way I'm watching Litecoin right now. That's a short-term trade. Now, Factum. Factum is under the 200 period moving average. You can see how this crossed over and just blasted when it crossed over there. Really, or the crossover looks so nicely because it blasted off. You know, it's a lagging indicator. Now we're come down to these levels and we're settled in. It's not giving us any kind of signal that is a buy signal yet. I'm going to have to actually take it as... I don't know if I want it to be an alert right now. It's not looking enough to be alert. I'm going to put it neutral, and tomorrow it may be a near fail and a fail. It's so close that it could be either right now. Foam we had as neutral just because we didn't know what to do with it. I'm going to leave it as neutral as well. Give it some time to make a formation that's tradable. Like Game has a pretty good formation coming up. Did we make that a buy? Not yet, hey? So we left that as an alert and not as a buy in our spreadsheet. Let me move this over. And now I'm going to put it as neutral. Gas. So it's important also to see, okay, that's still, I'm going to put it as a near fail. It's important to see over time how many of these turned green and then turned blue as a cold fish, because those are often failed trades that are not profitable. GNT. I guess I can hold its neutral status until it's actually failing, but neutral means you wouldn't be touching it, you wouldn't be selling it, you wouldn't be doing anything with it. HUC. Cut into new levels, and we were calling this for a near fail. Now I'll put it as an actual fail. It was looking weak, looking like it was going to be doing downside. This also looks weak. Kyber Network. I'm going to have to put it as a near fail. Library credit. Where are we? Hey, Mr. Babs, the volume is a little quiet today. I will change that over here. How is that? A little better? This way I'm not too close to the mic and overpowering it, but it's a little louder. Thank you for that, M. Babs. And Investment Vlogs, good to have you along as well. I appreciate it. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys, who are hitting that thumbs up. If this data is helpful to you, I appreciate the thumbs up. Library credits. You know, I see some guys out there they're just kicking my ass with their channels, and you know, I'd like to grow as well. Library credits is, I gotta put it as a near fail. Just because it's looking negative and it looks like it'll come down from here, it's staging a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It's above the 200 period moving average. This could be a good place for the number 3 of this larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. But right now, I'll just mark it as looking weak, just for the data. This one is neutral. Are we in the 12-hour bars? Yes. Neutral. Lisk was actually disappointing to me and still is looking like a near fail. I read about this project at the beginning, and it was a new way to do decentralized apps that lets you do an easier programming language. It would be open to more people in the world to develop on it. So Litecoin is just fantastic. It's a buy. So in our research here, we followed it a few days ago. Let's see what you think. Yeah, okay. We followed it a few days ago. We saw that it was going to be an alert, and we saw that it's a hold now that we purchased. So if that were having been the case, then we bought on this breakout here, and we would have our stop loss just above our entry. And now I would have my hands behind my back as much as I would. Even if I wanted to go short here, I wouldn't be changing my position. I would let the market come back and touch me out if that's what it's going to do. I want to stay in this position if I can. It's not costing me anything. I'm profitable with it. And then I want to stay if I can. So if the markets come back and they're just teasing and they're not actually going down, I want to keep into this position because they're making a top formation here. We got 1, 2, 3 times off the top, and it's pulling down. There's a great trend line there. I know we can pull up some other indicators to give us RSI. On balance volume still looks good. Like it's still having on balance buying going on rather than a whole bunch of selling at this point. That if there was a whole bunch of selling and this was all turning red, that would be more concerning. And then the MACD, which is the moving average accumulation distribution, acceleration, deceleration, one of those two. And generally when the blue line is below the red, it's like a trend line, the slow moving trend line is usually prices are going down. Usually when this makes a bottom formation here and crosses over, prices are going up, and then it crossed over. Now it's coming down to an important level where we'd want to see it changing the other direction. Maybe it's going to after this matures a bit. We'll take a look at that more closely next time. MadeSafe coin. Actually looks like a top formation here at this quick view. That is a 1, 2, 3 top formation and looking kind of weak right at the end. So when I go out to the longer term view on MadeSafe coin, to me this is an enormous 1, 2, 3 bottom formation with a 1, 2, 3 or a double bottom set up here with 2 capitulation lows, not just one. You know, for me, this is setting up to be a great place to put on $5, $10, a small little bit of your trade, because I really believe in the project. At any rate, it's only neutral according to the simple trading plan, and it's not a buy signal yet. We got to have the break of this downtrend line. This is a good double bottom. If it breaks above that, there's part of it, and then we'll see if our moving averages have crossed over at that time. So Mana is our next one. Let's go see what's going on with Mana. It is picked itself up from a fail to neutral, which means that you'd be taking your profits if you were selling and you're just sort of hanging out, maybe. But it's just neutral is that there's not much to do in that. It's not making one of the trading signals for this trading plan that we're reviewing everything against that same trading plan over and over again. And if you are just tuning in, so we got a few people here. It might be some new ones. Be sure to click on subscribe. I do this every day, and you will be notified. I do it at a different time every day, so hit that bell button so you know when it's actually been done. This chart is looking like a great formation. It's really taking its time to build up, but it's in between. It's in between the buy signal. It's in between the sell signal. It's just floating in the middle. So you just got to wait. Otherwise, it's a ton of work for nothing. Namecoin is still, I'm going to mark it as a near fail here. I marked it as a fail. I'll mark it as a near fail. It's not a market to get into or do anything with. We had our signal. We had our buy signal here, and we marked it and made some great profits. Got stopped out when this came back, but that's still like some great profits. Surprised that it's staying up here all this long. It's fantastic to study it. I actually have to learn more about it. NXT is one of our first ones that is actually breaking to brand new lows here. I'm going to mark that as a fail. Maybe it's a near fail and I'm just doing out of spite, but it's really near fail for, oh my God, for OMG. Near fail. Omni. Near fail. So this was the first one to do the fail right here. This was the only one that had been doing the fail at this time, as Bitcoin was coming down to make this number 3 point that it's resting on right now. Omni is looking terrible, but the best I can give it is a neutral. Maybe I'll say near fail, just to because that's going to be part of our average afterwards to say how pessimistic the market is. This is a near fail. It's right down at these levels and not looking green, so I have to say it's a near fail. That's another new near fail that hasn't back and forth, I guess. PPC. Yeah. I can give it a neutral. No. Near fail. If I have to wonder about it, then it gets near fail. I'll go on the side of doubt right now. So this is another fail. And it was looking so great. There were so many things were looking great on this day as prices were teasing up here. All the alts were really responding to it quickly. And more quickly than Bitcoin's move. So Bitcoin would move, say, 1%, and the Bitcoins would move, and the other altcoins were moving 10% and 40%. Really magnified differences in how much the altcoins were moving. So I'm keen to keep this going and keep track of what they're doing so that we know exactly when. I would say this one's a take profit in this one. I'm going to leave it as a hold. Just because everything else is softening, I think this will pull back to these regions at least to make a consolidation. So just, I don't think I have any rep. SBD, my favorite mystery coin, I'm going to put this as a fail, which means as a sell to get out of it, like to go short of it right off this, because it's making a 1, 2, 3 top formation. I really don't know. Below this level would be a sell. Above that level would be a buy. It's done both. It's gone on great runs before, so I have to, and some amazing moves before too. So I have to get my bias out of it. It really could be taking off. I don't know the market. It keeps confounding me. But there's the signals. If it goes above this, there's a buy signal. It's trend continuation. If it goes below this, it's a sell, and it'll likely come back to its 50% level, down to these levels. Maybe the 61.8. They look pretty good. That's marked. Now, Sia coin, a disappointment to me. Like many of these, this has gone down to new lows, and is that an actual fail? And you didn't want to hold any for a while now. And after it made these consolidations here in December, after the pullback, and they made some consolidations, it never did make anything solid. It kept coming down an extra Satoshi, an extra Satoshi. Now it's slipping more. SNT. So it certainly didn't give us a bottom formation at all. SNT has pulled back. If it consolidates here, maybe it's a trend continuation. But for now, I'm going to put it as neutral. Steam is one interesting one because it really made a great 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. We caught it, but likely my strategy of putting on a trade and catching a successful trade, putting my stop loss just above my entry, would have kicked me out of this trade. I would have been at a small profit or a small loss or whatever, but then I'd be just sitting there watching this now, waiting for this to consolidate and build a new formation for me to take a step into it. So I have to leave this as neutral and let it take a week or two, maybe, for that to mature. Storage we had marked as a buy signal yesterday, and it went out to a crypto trading group that has 272,440 members. Huge. So thousands of people are reading that at the same time, and then the price really jumped up. I think there's a whole bunch of people invested in it now at a really great time. This has been something I've been calling for quite a while. There's going to be an enormous amount of change in this one. So well, I love it. I just can't say enough about it. It's a fantastic one. And I'm going to leave it as a hold in our spreadsheet. And then we go on to stellar, not stellar at all. And this one really got me, I gotta say, because I was really watching this enormous triangle formation. Prices broke above it, did a retest, made a bottom formation, and started to go. I thought, alrighty, here we go. We're going to 9,000 Satoshi from here. And then Bitcoin broke on November the 14th, 15th, and this held out for a day or two. You can see here, it actually went up a little bit after Bitcoin broke, and then it's been just paying back. For all of the price move that it didn't go down, like all the other cryptos, they all came down with Bitcoin. This sort of held its own. Now it's paying that all back. We'll see what happens with it. It's a big market cap coin, so I think it will. We'll have to see. I think it'll snap back. But for now, it's certainly a sell, like to get out of. This one is also a near fail. What time frame? So we're here. It's a near fail. It's not building up to a buy signal in any way. Where'd my mouse go? I wonder if my mouse battery is dying. It may be. Kind of snafu. No wonder they're just little alkaline batteries. Now we're back to motion. Hey, I'm forgetting about my coffee. All right, where are we? Strat, near fail. Near fail. Could you give us your thoughts on IOST? IOST on Binance. I like going through Binance, and I do this with a separate spreadsheet. Do I have it open anywhere? No, not where I can see. I do this with a separate spreadsheet, and I go through all of the stuff on Binance. IOST. I think it's going to go down from here. It's looking good. This is like a bullish everything going on here, but just because of the overall market, I am bearish in the short term for everything. I think everything is going to be coming back and retesting. And what I was saying about and now if it makes a ascending wedge triangle at these levels, huge. That is just what the doctor ordered. But for now, I think things are going to be coming back. And I was saying earlier that the altcoins made a larger move up than Bitcoin did from the 17th of December to the 31st. Bitcoin made a move up there, 17th to the 24th or something. The altcoins reacted greater. They made greater gains than Bitcoin did. They reacted more. And I think that they'll react more now as Bitcoin pulls back and even just hints at testing these any kind of lower levels. All the alts will pull back more deeply. So IOST, I love it. It's looking great. This is a 3-month view. The 200 period moving average is good. It's one of the few markets that is above the 200 period moving average. So I would expect that as it comes back and pull, it'll probably stay above that 200 moving average all the way along. And that would be really great if it did. It stayed above that and then made this consolidating ascending wedge triangle. This is what I want to be watching for in all the cryptos now, is this kind of formation where it's coming up and making an ascending wedge triangle. So I'm going to filter through like 200 of them, come down to the 5 markets that are making this. And that's where I want to be shifting my money over into. So many of them are just like that right now here today. So Poloniex, we already did storage, and we can just look at that. It just jumps out at you. These kind of pre-pump candles. These are groups of thousands of people getting to know about it, and they're all buying $100 worth. Very awesome to see. Very awesome. And this chart formation is killer. Really knocks me out of the park. Strat we already did. And then Syscoin is our next one. And I'm very excited about Syscoin as well. If we zoom in on that, look at it just poking its head above the 200 period moving average. Our 60 and the 20 period moving averages have already crossed over, and they are above the 200 period moving average. All of these things look good for Syscoin to be doing some kind of move like this again in the next short while. And that was a huge move. Those were hundreds of % gain. And I would expect that it's going to be getting some of that FOMO. As prices are starting to go, people will see, people know that this has done some crazy stuff before, and a whole bunch of supply has just been soaked up. A whole bunch of supply is being soaked up over time here. You can see these candles of buying as some big whale is just buying everything that's above the market, and then they stop buying. And this is the fantastic stuff. I want to hear success stories out after this does a big move. So all of these that are marking as alerts, there ought to be some success stories. Look at the pre-pump candles going on, and look at the candles of green down below here. I know if I open this up and see the on-balance volume, look at how green this is and how big this is. All of the volume is to a buying cycle. The people are purchasing all the way along here, and then it's going quiet. A little bit of selling that doesn't match how much purchasing has been going on. So the supply is being soaked up, and we're making these formations. Love it. It's still only an alert, but that's a good one. That's an exciting chart. This is the kind of stuff I'm looking for. And when it gets here, I want to pile in and make 2019, I don't know about you, but I want to make 2019 my best year yet. And this is the kind of thing I look for. Look at these big things of buying volume going on. As the price is moving up, then it quiets down. We've got a big thing of the moving averages are coming to close. It's all lining up. I know if you were to pull up any of these and you're starting to look at the RSI showing strength, coming from a fantastically oversold position, historical, really great. I'm going to put that as an alert this time. It was an alert, then it was neutral for a couple days. Love it. Counterparty. Let's go back to this view. I'll leave it as a near fail, just because it's like nothing to do with it. XEM hurt my feelings, actually. It is still a fail. XMR surprising me. I'm expecting this to be going down out of this, and I've been saying that since the whole time to the beginning of December as the prices came here and started to retest. I thought this was for sure a retest and a great sell spot on the downtrend, and then it's consolidated. I don't know which way it's going to go, but I can't put it as a near fail anymore because it's up to neutral level in the simple trading plan. I just have to pay attention to the plan because a lot of times fail. Like with Namecoin, I was calling it wrong. And this I'll call as a near fail as well. It's looking pretty sell-ish. Let's zoom in on this. And I want to go and look at the Ichimoku cloud. Ripple. 3 month. Okay, so it poked its way into the cloud and it couldn't do it, and it's just exited the cloud. That's bearish. That's a bearish top. We've got lower highs now. 3 times that it went up to this top and exhausted itself. What do we see for on balance volume during those times? 1, 2, 3. Oh, big volume, lesser volume, lesser volume on all 3 of those big moves. So as it came up, we saw it's definitely a sell signal where we are right here in Ripple. So I'm going to upgrade that from a near fail to a fail. And Zcash, I'm going to leave it as a fail just because it's laying in the gutter there. And then ZRX is also in the gutter and further than before. So this is another, okay, these are markets that I wasn't paying proper attention to, is that they're not coming to like historical lows, but they're breaking past the September lows, the August lows, the November, December lows. So these are the markets that are the leaders actually. So we have XEM also as a leader, and I don't like where it's been leading us, but these are the ones that now sort of got to categorize them. Zcash, are you, I hesitate to say, leader? Yeah, you're leading us to the demise here. So yes, this is another leader. I'm gonna have to go through and mark out all of these markets. OMG, that is also a leader. It was the first to be leading the downtrend that is appearing more and more here now. Now, Mana, you're down to new lows, but I don't know what you are historically, but I'll mark you as a leader to the lows too. Lisk, yeah, you're at new lows. You're one of those leaders to the low. I'm going to go through and mark these out separately in the spreadsheet somehow and categorize them. But for now, let's go and do the update. So now we're at the end of the scan of all the charts so far. And I'm going to update this chart at the home page. So when I update this formula, then the numbers will change. We'll see an increase in reds and oranges, likely. And that's not good. Copy, paste, loading. Okay, more reds, a little bit fewer oranges, of fewer neutrals. That's where they came from. Fewer alerts. So more bearish, but not like a big step up to deeper bearishness. So the crypto moon matrix, I'm going to figure out a ratio for this so that we take, we ignore the neutrals and we take the green and red and add them together and get a number. And we add the orange and red and then green and yellow together. And we'll come up with a ratio. And so that would be always this cell plus this cell and equal this cell plus this cell. And we'll continue to track that as we go along. How do I put that onto the home page now so that the 60-32 ratio is our bull to bearish? I'm just going to copy and paste it for lazy sake now. Really. Paste the values. Paste the values. So there we go. 60 bullish. 60 to 32 ratio today. And we'll see how that ratio changes over time. The 60 to 32 ratio. Somewhere I'll be tracking that. Also, I wanted to put this coin farm into the spreadsheet, into the tools. So this would be a Bitfinex tool, data and information. Good. Then I know where to go and find it. And that shows the percentage of longs and shorts. It shows a couple different world currencies against Bitcoin. And it gives this technical analysis by TradingView, which I don't know how it works at all. But sure, it's a nice looking chart. Back to Lisk. Back to our 4. Look at this. Showing some strength here. If you could break up past this level, that would be very good. I would like to see it break up past and set on top of and then build from there. That would change the shape of this uptrend and start to build us our ascending wedge, which I'm wanting. And so if we keep building this over time, we're good. Then we're smiling. Put that out to the 4-hour view. Zoom it back a little bit. And right now, Ethereum's made a little jump up. Bitcoin's made a tick to the upside, but Stellar is still down in the basement. We'll see if this all starts to pull up into something that is positive. Certainly is right on the edge. Just like watching what do you call a World Cup soccer game. How about the new coin on Polo? Let's go look at them. They are going to be difficult to do technical analysis on. What's the name of them? Numeraire? Did I skip past that as I was doing things? Yes, I did. So from this, it looks like a buy right here. It looks like it's moving up and showing strength right off the start. So all the way along, it hasn't been slow. It hasn't, and there's a lot of good buying volume going on. So as there is stuff available in the market, somebody is scooping it up. Let's zoom in a little bit. Take a look at these buying patterns here, and on balance volume, wow, sure got a massive hit just recently. A lot of buying went into that. And we can see with the MACD, now we're just getting a crossover. The histogram has gone from negative to positive, that little tick. This is the very beginning of the turnover, and often we're looking for prices to be going up when we have this trending up, down when it's trending down. It doesn't say the volume of it. You have to use some other technical patterns, but it's a general helpful tool, and it looks like it's going up. I like it. That there's great stuff going on there. I didn't look at RSI. Kind of in the middle, not giving me any kind of divergence that I can sink my teeth into. It may need longer time. And then the other new one is LPT, and then Poly is closer. Just because I looked this direction. Poly's not looking like a buy signal. Poly's like, catch me later, I've got work to do. A lot of on-balance selling through here. So not looking great. And then the MACD indicator was looking like a turnaround, but it's just losing steam here. That was it. And that wasn't much of it. And it's losing steam here at the end. So can't do much with poly, not for a while. And it was making 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. The moving average crossed over. We are looking at the 4-hour bars. Okay. It's thinking, wow, I was doing all that on the 12-hour bar. It was looking so good. On the 4-hour bar, it's just more sketchy. You know, we've got groups with 272,044 members. And when they're notified of something like this making a formation and almost breaking out, there's thousands of people who are pushing that up. And if you're jumping in on that, if you've got a buy order set there, and you're being hit by those kind of groups that are just FOMO in there, and then everybody else is just, the natural selling is still coming in, the market is still going down, then we're going to be taking those losses over and over again. We got to really guard against that exact thing, that exact example. It was fantastic, and I'm grateful that you shared that detail. I think it was Klaus who shared that on our Discord chat. LPT. Oh, wow. LPT. Let's pull that back a little bit. It pulled down and made a bowl shape that I couldn't have traded. It didn't make a formation for me here, even in the 4-hour bars. It just made such a beautiful bowl shape, though. And bang, off it went from that bowl shape. So let's watch for bowl shapes. Now, there's nothing I can do with it after it's taken off like this. It's just too likely that it's going to be coming back 50% from what it's already done. It's tripled in price, just about. Bam, bam, bam. That's beautiful. I love it. But now I would have to wait for it to come all the way back to the 50% level, make a consolidation pattern. You know, it's a good 6 weeks before that's possible that I could be trading this market for my own trading. But beautiful. And let's look for more of these bowl shapes. What else is doing that right now? Something that I got to go find my spreadsheet now. Go and get my master spreadsheet. It's something that is not set as an alert right now on Binance. It's one of those markets. So I can go to the Binance Watch channel tab in my spreadsheet. And there are a few of them. There are more of them that are not on alerts now. There's been a bunch that have fallen back off of alert status. So this isn't easy for me to find it. I will pay attention to it because it's making this kind of formation, but it hasn't blasted off yet. ABC. Not GTO, but is it a G coin? No. Nope. Something very new. Not fun for sure. Not GNT. Well, I'll keep looking for it as I go through the coins. And I'll bring that up next time. Maybe I'll be posting that shortly in our alerts group in our Discord chat. All right. That'll wrap it up for today. And now my project is to go into all of these markets in Binance and update the alert spreadsheet for all of these coins so that we are ready when they are turning around and making buy signals. And we're also ready for which of these markets we can trade short over in BitMEX. I will sign off for now. Thank you guys for being here and look forward to the next one. Cheers. Good luck in all of your cryptocurrency trading.